Welcome to the number one friendship podcast in the country. I'm your host, Matt Ritter.
I'm your co-host, Aaron Cairo.
Do we say co-hosts?
We've never said host in ever, but that's fine.
Well, mixing it up, I don't know. Just, kind of get us off on a new foot today. Guys, check us out on YouTube. You can see Cairo's face when I said host. And go to manoftheyearpodcast.com. Get your hats, get your onesies, get your t-shirts, get your sweatshirts. We should be friends. Cairo, I wanted to challenge you. Next time we fly, who do you think could go longer raw dogging on a flight? Do you know what that is?
I've seen this on TikTok. This is when you do nothing. You just stare at the screen.
Yeah, I want to do it against you. Me and you.
You're not allowed to eat or listen to music.
Literally just stare straight at the GPS tracker for the entire flight.
I think that I would be able to do it longer.
I don't know. I think that's probably right. Here's the thing. It's like you're definitely more disciplined on a day-to-day,
Yeah.
But I'm also like, I come from a long line of people that can do like 18 hours of nothing straight, very tedious shit. I worked at a law firm. I would do tedious stuff for 72 hours, no sleep.
What is the point of raw dogging on a flight?
No point. Just to prove you're a man.
And are all these TikToks just completely made up? Like, there's no way they sat there.
Well, I would kill to sit next to somebody doing it. I gotta verify this.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be great because I don't like looking at the map because then it's just like a slow, never boils. What is it like
it's so boring. That's the last 4 minutes. That's what the last 4 minutes of the flight is for.
Yeah,
so we make that little turn, into LAX.
So when you get to JFK and they make 7 turns, like, what are we doing? Just we're here.
I know. It is weird. Is it like a wind pattern? I've never been able to figure that out. But yeah, I'm curious if men are actually doing this or if it's just for the likes, for the views.
God, what are they showing on Chinese TikTok? They're not raw dogging.
They're actually showing how to engineer roads and bridges. Yeah, 5-year-olds paving new roads.
Playing violin, like it's none of this chicks dancing.
And we just have literally, right? I mean, this is like rock bottom. We're like, now we do nothing. Now we
right. Wow. What a
used to learn how to do a silly dance. Now it's nothing.
Right.
I'm gonna try it. Jesse said absolutely not. I said I want to try it on my next flight.
But you have as we know, you have a kid, so how are you gonna do it?
Well, it would almost be like I'm abdicating my responsibilities to do it, which is
nice. So like the other flight.
Yeah, you're like kind of nice. Hey, no, that's not true. You'll understand one day where you have to split it up. You gotta split.
Have you seen the new airline that's for dogs?
What?
It's called Bark Air.
You're making this up.
No, Bark Air. And it's like, let's see.
Something tells me Boeing sold them some of their bad 737.
Yeah, they fly New York, LA. And I think
Bark Air.
Yeah, the dogs are up front.
Oh, the dogs sit by themselves?
No, not by themselves. I mean, I think it's just like, it's like a.
Wait, what are you saying? Is it an airline just for dogs? I'm confused.
No, sorry, not just for dogs, but it's it's not just for dogs, but it's like doggy daycare where like you're just you roam free up there with the dogs.
Are the dogs in your seats or not?
Yes, they're in your seats.
Why'd you say all the dogs are in the front?
In other words, that
I was picturing a pen up front where all the dogs are playing, and then you're in the back with your family.
No, I guess it's a normal flight, but the dogs are roaming free, and
they're roaming free up and down the aisles.
I guess I have to do a little bit more research, but yeah, basically.
It smells horrible on that flight.
Yeah. I thought you'd be much more into it.
No, I like being the only person on the flight with a dog. I don't want other dogs there.
I forgot. Anyway.
So that was not what we were going to talk about today. No. The raw dog thing got me. I wanted to talk about, we're always talking about third place and how to meet friends and like the whys and the hows and the wheres. And it occurred to me that I've been doing a lot of house hangs and I do like a lot of coffee hangs. But I've sort of realized that I'm going back to kind of an old school thing that a lot of people used to do, or some people still do, where I kind of like post up. And I wanted to talk about this concept. I realize I'm doing it, and it's kind of nice. Like people kind of know now. Like you can come to my house, me and Jesse, like happy hour, and like we're posted up. Summertime, it's by the pool. You can just come hang. And I almost want to like institutionalize it. Right now, it's a little bit loosey goosey, but I just realized that it has enabled a lot of my friends to feel way more comfortable being like, "Are you around? I'm going to do a pop in." I know you would hate this, but for people who like this, I think I've created kind of a post up mentality here. And I've just because of my obligations, I selfishly I want people to come where I am.
Right.
But I also kind of sometimes do it with if I'm going to go get coffee somewhere in the mornings or like on our weekend, we do with our coffee clutch. I'll sometimes just be like, yeah, we're here and this is where we're going to be for the next hour. So it's not like, hey, I'm meeting you. It's less of like, we're meeting up. It's more like, this is where I'm going to be. Whoever wants to come.
Now in the coffee situation, so you're going to a place you go regularly.
Yeah.
Have some population of people you see somewhat regularly. And you're like, I'm going to be here from here. So you're not making a plan, which is interesting. You're not saying, hey, Jim, let's get coffee. You're like, I'm going. This is when I'm going to be there. Pop in or not, or don't pop in.
Yeah. I feel like there's a little less pressure.
Well, there's no pressure.
Right. Well, I mean, just on anybody, to commit to anything. But there is a little pressure on you because you have to do it.
Right. And then when people pop in, you have to receive the pop.
Right. And if nobody shows, you're like, damn, I'm a loser.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know about that. And then, of course, the house thing is slightly different. That's, I think we've called that an open house or open time or free time.
Right. I wanted to get back to that because I realized I'm really leaning into it.
And again, that's like you want a little friendship nourishment. So you just kind of say whoever wants to come over can come over.
Yeah. But I also think it tends to lend itself to people who also need that little friendship nourishment sometimes.
Right. And do you set a time frame?
Yeah, I mean, lately I've just been telling people like, yeah, come on, but just like neighbors, like people in the neighborhood, like, come on by before dinner, like pop in for a drink.
That's too vague. That's insane.
Well, everybody knows because these are all people with little kids, so they all kind of know what time that is.
What time is dinner?
It's like 5 to 6. It's like we're free, essentially. I'm saying.
And we've talked about it in the pod before, but just for the non-Hollywood people, just reminding me that lunch in Hollywood is at 1 p.m. Right. Yeah. So if you have a lunch meeting in Hollywood, they don't send the time. They go, okay, your lunch meeting is going to be at, blah, blah, blah cafe. And it's just 1 o'clock automatically. Isn't that, I still think that's bizarre, right?
I mean, I think generally people think of lunch as 1 o'clock. Don't you?
No, you're talking about on Wall Street when they make a lunch meeting, it's automatically noon? 1 o'clock.
You're saying you think it was what, noon?
No, I think they say what time, 12:30. They
pick
a time.
I'm asking, what do you think Wall Street lunch is?
I don't know because they get in. Well, I guess they don't get in that early.
Law firm, we got in late. We got in like 9:30, so lunch was definitely later.
Oh, did I ever tell you the? So my buddy from college, he's a surgeon, and he's at. It's fine. He's at Stanford, and I was in the Bay Area, so I said, "Hey, hadn't seen him in a while. Hey, you want to grab lunch?" And he goes, "Surgeons don't do lunch." That was his response. I got so offended.
I love that. He just put you in your place.
I was like,
you little creative monkey. You little creative monkey. Oh, you do lunch. That's so cute. You little creative monkey. That's so cute. You eat lunch? Oh, how cute. What are you, 12? He's like, what are you, 12? You eat lunch? I don't. You want me to make you a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
I mean, first of all, orthopedic surgeon. Like this guy's not a heart transplant. Like he's
right. Oh, I can't do it because somebody's knee is acting up. Get over yourself.
I got to do a pickleball injury from a 70-year-old. Can't do lunch.
I gotta be at 1. Can't be at 1:30.
Can't do sweet green because of my hip replacement.
I would say the most of all of our doctor friends are orthopedic surgeons, so we love orthopedic surgeons.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course. I love the free care that we get from them.
Oh
But
God, they get
surgeon,
so many unnecessary calls and texts about shoulders, elbows, knees, and toes.
just one thing. I think I never spoke to him again after that. He said surgeons don't do lunch. I never responded. That was a year ago. 'Cause
Oh
I
my
was,
God, that's hilarious.
I was just so annoyed.
You know, Jesse and I don't really do lunch.
You
Like we
know,
take it, it's a 5 minute. It's like a 5 minute.
I have a small bone to pick with you.
Okay,
Very small. This is soft conversation.
pick it.
In I've noticed like when you and I have a call, like a meeting, or we're working on something at around lunchtime, I just hear you snuffling into a trough of food and shoveling it down while the phone is right by your mouth, and it's disgusting, and I hate it.
So would you prefer I take lunch?
Well, I mean, wait till we're done.
Script doctors don't take lunch.
Oh man. Okay, wait. I just
No,
found
that is a horrible thing. Oh, I never thought about what it sounds like on the other end.
just like a truffle pig. And you don't even acknowledge it. You don't go, "Oh, I got to grab something real quick because I haven't eaten."
It's always
I'm
a
like,
salad. Jessie has made him. She puts these little like pita chips on top. So that's probably what you're hearing.
I don't care. But you're like, you're mid conversation. You're like, yeah, I think we should, record about. My blood boils. My blood absolutely boils. But I'm picking my battles with you, Matt, because I'm just like, what is he gonna do? He's gonna say, I gotta eat. I got a kid. I gotta eat. My blood boils.
Will you record it next time? We got to record the sounds of me eating.
I don't even think that the recorder will pick up it's like you're like an orc. It's unbelievable.
Listen, I'm trying to be productive.
So I went back and found his text. By the way, it's the last time he texted me October 20th.
Does it actually say that? You got to post that. We got to post that on our Instagram.
He said, haha, surgeons don't eat or do, quote, lunch. He put lunch in quotes.
Wow. Is that even true? Do surgeons not eat from like 9 to 7?
Yeah. Do surgeons eat lunch? Someone please tell us.
Yeah. Because first of all, I just don't think that's good. If your blood sugar is dropping, that's why people are dying on the table.
I mean, I'm sure he's a truffle pig like you. He just, eating
Sit in the little room, like that little room where they all have sex in Grey's Anatomy.
In the call room.
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of raw dogging, like, what do you think about when these surgeons do like a 20-hour surgery?
Not a fan, because I know how bad it was if your brain just goes, you're delusional. You're delulu. You're delulu.
No, but I mean, that's the job. Like, you have to, that's the job.
No, I disagree. I think it's definitely like if they ever allowed anyone to study it, which I'm sure they never have and never will, because think about how many lawsuits there'd be.
So you think it's not a necessity that they could swap out or something?
I think it's dangerous. Look, this is just one conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said it that way. I said conspiracy theory. Conspiracy theory. One man's conspiracy theory that shift for doctors should be shorter. And I think they probably would all agree. It's not healthy.
No, I'm not talking about a shift. This is like a very complicated pediatric brain transplant or whatever. Like, really.
Well, if they have to stay up and do that, because like moving away.
Yeah. But that's what I was saying.
I thought you were just saying, how do I feel about their shifts being 24 hours?
Oh, no, that's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't know. Are there brain surgeries that are 20? I think you're talking about 8 hours.
There's a famous photo and by famous,
when they split those two, I know the Siamese twins, when they split them up.
No, where the surgeons are on the floor afterwards.
Oh,
because it's like been 30 hours or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, what were we talking about?
Surgeons doing lunch. Oh, posting up hangs. Post up hang. What do you think about it?
Wow, 32-hour surgery.
Was that with the Siamese twins to cut their heads off?
No, it was brain tumor removal that involved 6 continuous operations.
Wow.
The doctors took short breaks in between. Wow.
What about bathroom? Do they all put catheters in themselves?
I think maybe they diaper it up.
That's a good question.
No, because Yeah.
Then what?
Well, but then you'd be peeing in the OR. That's not sterile.
What about bags of shit in your ass too? Like beauty in your diapers while you're performing a 30-hour surgery?
Did
That's
I ever tell
horrible.
you in the
Ugh.
in the aughts, I actually, because I love doctors, I visited our high school friend who's an orthopedic surgeon.
Yeah.
And I witnessed him, observed him do surgery,
Did you
and
scrub in?
I I was in the surgery. I'd actually surprisingly I didn't scrub
You
in, but
must have scrubbed in.
I was wearing the stuff, and we're talking and whatever. And there's kind of like I don't know how to describe it, like kind of a plastic bag underneath the incision area that's kind of catching, let's say, runoff, for lack of a better
Yeah.
term. It's kind of filling up with blood. And I go, "Hey man, like, is this supposed to be filling up blood?" He goes, "Oh," and he gets. I'm like, "Why am I giving advice to this surgery?" Anyway,
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Cairo's like, should this bag be full right now? This bag's pretty full. Does anybody want to change the bag?
anyway, so I like the idea of posting up if the friends enjoy it, like if you're doing something that people want to do, and you're okay if nobody shows up. It's very your personality, which is like, hey, come whenever. Like, that would drive me
Yeah.
absolutely bananas. I mean,
I do it also. You just mentioned something interesting. Like, if you don't care if people show up, I like to watch, basketball games, whatever, at sports bars sometimes. I have a hard time getting people to do that. So I think I've lowered the bar a little bit. So I'm like, I'm going to go do this if you want to come by.
do you now that you have a child, you don't do as much work on the weekends?
Uh, You mean as opposed to before I just worked every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? I mean,
Like me,
I
it's hard to write.
I still try to carve out some time before he's up, but yeah.
I really do. I really do admire. We're doing the same job, but you have a child that that you need to keep. I mean, I'm being honest.
No, but it's just about more efficiencies. Matt GPT. Just
Yeah,
carve it up into smaller and smaller increments.
until you're just doing 5 minutes of writing.
5 minutes of work. Write a script in 4 minutes. You finish the script. You have 9 minutes. I'm always just like, all right. And then he's off at 5. So that's it. It's my heart out.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, thank you. But back to the post up. So I think part of it is like, I think that we're missing an opportunity. Again, like for me, it's like everybody thinks plans have to happen when there's an event, right? Like as it stands now, a lot of people our age are only seeing each other when there's a birthday, when there's a holiday, or like some sort of tradition they do, or, like we encourage the low key hangs, right? And I think, the post up is similar to the low key hang, but the post up doesn't have to be, at your house. Post up could be anywhere, but the post up can also be just sort of an alternate way to make plans with people that are hard to pin down. Make it easier on some of those harder to pin down folks. What do you think about that?
I like that, because if they're, picky about timing or whatever, it just gives it also kind of less of an excuse. Kind of puts it on them.
Right. I feel like we all have kind of these friends that for whatever reason, we can't pin them down. They're squirrely.
Yeah, they are very squirrely.
Right? We all have those friends. They're just a bit squirrely. And so I just thought to myself, I didn't do this beforehand, but now I'm thinking to myself, oh, you know what? This is actually working a little bit on some of those squirrelier people where it's like, oh, they can just show up. The bar on the, I don't want to call them flakes, but calling them squirrely. Is that more insulting?
I think squirrely
flake is somebody who doesn't show up.
Yeah.
But I've noticed the post up has worked on a couple of friends who are like, hey, we're just going to be doing pool time today.
Right. Maybe they just want to use your pool.
Fine.
Right.
But I'm saying, like, I think for our Sunday thing, which is like a lot of parents farmers market thing, when somebody, it's not always me, when somebody else does the first post up,
Yeah.
that makes it easier too.
Do you ever engage with other people's post ups?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So sometimes the farmers market, somebody else, like Daisy and Nick, will be like, "Hey, we're at whoever's there first," kind of.
How do you
So,
post up at a farmer's market?
well, you don't do it at the farmers market. You do it at the coffee shop or at a diner in on the same block, and then we all kind of just lounge, and then people come and go. Like, I'm gonna go to the farmers market now. It's like coming and going. It's not like these big set plans. There's, as I said, I think there's a lot less pressure on it.
Yeah. That's good. I like that you are, encouraging connection in any form for any amount of time and any place. Like, you're very good about what do we call, like, friendship snacks.
Yeah, but I also will say thank you. But I think I've done something like reverse engineered quality friendships in a way, like through these, like they've helped build some
Yeah.
of these, like some of these low key hang. And these were people that I wasn't really close with, and now I do feel close. But we're doing things that you might consider like more casual, and like you might even consider them for more casual friendships.
Well, just like we said in our small talk episode, you got to start small to get big. So
Yeah. Should we take a listener question?
we'll be right back. Okay, guys, this is Asking for a Friend. If you have a friendship question or ethical dilemma, send it to us on Instagram and we'll try to answer on the show. Our Instagram handle is Man of the Year Podcast. Matt, take it away.
Kiro, I think I'm pretty sure I know where you're going to fall on this one. Dear Matt and Kiro, maybe this is an easy one, but it's driving me crazy. I have a friend that's constantly late. Like, not just 5 minutes for dinner late, like everything. Going to a game, I'm sitting there for a quarter by myself. I'm already 2 drinks deep at the bar. I've made a few jokes, even a few snide comments. Oh, nothing seems to work. At what point does a friend's constant lateness indicate a deeper issue in the friendship? And how do I decide whether to continue the relationship or move on?
So this requires full-scale warfare.
Ooh, war.
Obviously everybody gets a pass and some of these things are situational, but if they're chronically late, then you leave or you stop hanging out with them.
Ooh.
Oh, you didn't expect that last one.
No, you know what I've never thought of? This is crazy. I've gone my whole life. I've never left. I've never done that.
Now that's only if it's already a problem and you've already been like, listen,
Right.
I'm going, I have a hard out. If you're not going to show up, I'm not staying.
Have you ever done that? Walked? I'm walking. 5 more minutes and I'm walking.
I've basically sort of done the opposite where they came half an hour late and I'm like, well, I'm leaving in 15 minutes. So, I'm not going to extend the hang because you're late. I don't have too many like super late friends. And obviously we live in LA where traffic is ridiculous. Although if you plan for it, you're okay. Right. But like, I don't know. Do you have like a couple culprits?
Yeah, but I'm saying this example seems cut and dry. Like, this person's extremely late. This isn't like everybody gets a pass. Like you're saying, like this person's clearly not respecting your time in any way. That's a bigger issue.
You need to say something. Now, he says I made a few jokes, a few snide comments. Like, when you say, hey, let's meet up at 8:30, they go, great. You go, actual 8:30 or like, 9:00. I will say, okay, I'm not going to throw you under the bus, but on the one specific instance, and it doesn't really bother me because you have a child. When we record the pod, you're often late. It's not a diss. You're often late. So what I just do is I build in 15 minutes. I know you're not going to. You're not going to be there.
I feel bad because that's the one big thing I'm late about, but I've explained it to you at least because I do value your time.
Yeah, of course.
And there are factors beyond my control.
Yes. Yes.
But I do feel bad about that because that's the one thing that I'm chronically late on, and it's drives me nuts because I have other variables who shall not be named
Yeah,
that are
exactly.
causing me issues that are it's not my wife. Um, but I think there's something to be said for jokes, and then there's something to be said for being serious.
Hmm.
And obviously, this is a moment that calls for, again, like what you said, good friends have hard conversations.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's a hard conversation. I think it's a hard line. And I think the line is, hey man, I just want to let you know, like my time is valuable too. And you're basically saying to me that you don't value my time and you don't think my time is important.
Yeah. I mean, that is quite inflammatory depending
I
on who.
agree, but it's saying you're at the point now where I think you just need to be direct.
Yeah.
If you care about the friendship, the snide comments, I like that as like the initial like jokey whatever.
Yeah.
But like, are you gonna? Okay, here's the thing: can you get somebody to change this behavior? That's like a hot question. Can you? Do you believe you can actually get somebody to change this kind of level of late behavior?
I mean, it does require drastic, you know, moves, I think.
Consequences, consequences.
Yes. Yes. By the way, side note, I do sometimes like when you meet someone at a bar and they're late and then you get to like drink by yourself for a little bit. Like, I
Well,
don't like,
I like that too. I like going early for that. You know what's funny? Fireball Adam is like me in that way. I
so
feel like
early, so
you're
prompt.
not really like that. Like I feel like we're both in a race to get there first alone.
Right.
You know? But maybe it's because we both have little kids at home. We want to get
Yeah.
out of the house early. But we're both of that same cloth where I love to have like the first half of that beer by myself.
Let me ask you this. You're gonna like this. About a year ago, a buddy was in town. I got there a little early. I had a drink at the bar, and then he got there for our reservation, and the bartender was like, "Oh, I'll just transfer it to your table." And I just saw him like it was like, I mean, it's de minimis as far as money, but it was just kind of funny. Like now this guy just bought half a beer. I don't.
Yeah.
It
Or
was
you think he reacted like, wait, why would you do that? That wasn't
yeah.
mine.
Like I saw a little twinge.
That's pretty funny,
Yeah.
actually. Because I usually close out. I'm usually pretty good about like, I'm going to
No,
close
should
it
I
out.
have protested? Should I have protested? I should have protested.
Nah, it's fine. One beer, bring it, add it to the table. Add
Yeah,
it to
yeah,
the table. Anything
yeah.
under two beers or less, just add it to the table.
Oh, 2 beers? Yeah. Yeah. Um, no, no, as you know, it's funny, me, you, and Fireball Adam, like it's like we're there like an hour early because everyone's racing.
I know we're like 6:30 dinner. It's like 5:15. We're at Sir.
Yeah. And we're also king of like a triple pregame. I
Yeah.
mean, I went to the concert the other day. We went to 4 bars before the concert. It's
Right.
ridiculous.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Love a good pregame. Wait, so you think that's too harsh to come in like and
I don't know
address
because
it?
I
Like,
have a friend who is one of my best friends. She's very late. And I to your point, I actually don't think I can really do anything about it.
right. So if you can't do anything about it, then maybe there isn't any point to doing the direct confrontation.
I don't think that it would help, and
Right.
it would be very inflammatory. So I think I bake it in
Take it in.
slash I'll say like, you know me, I love a heart out, a conversation. I'm like, listen, I'm there till 4. So like you can choose to show up late, but that's what we got.
Right. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's just the bake in.
Yeah. I mean, listen,
But it's hard when you make a dinner res and somebody shows up half hour late. That's like rude.
well, that's ridiculous.
Or like a
That
basketball game showing up after the first quarter. Like
did that happen to
rude.
you?
No, that's what this person said in their question.
Oh.
That's rude.
Quarter sitting a game by yourself is not, I don't like that.
That's rude. That's really rude.
Yeah. Unless they show up and they're like, drinks are on me for the rest of this. Tall boys on me.
Doesn't make up for it.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
You don't think
Ian,
the confrontation is warranted or even would do anything? That's the question.
what do you think late people? Because I've had some moments. You know, usually I'm ready early, and then I'm like, oh, it's
Yeah.
too early. Then fuck around. I'm like, oh fuck, now I'm 5 minutes late. That's fine. What do you think are the deal with the late people?
Well, I think there's different pools. There's the people that are just busy and there's always doing something, and then they lose track of time. Like I definitely like if I'm late, a lot of times something's going on that I'm
Yeah.
scrambling for. It's not like I'm just waking up casually, like I'm literally, I've got
Right.
my hands filled with baby poop,
Yeah.
and trying to get it wiped off. So
Yeah.
then I think there's the people that are just chronically over scheduled,
Mm.
but then I think there are the people that just don't see the value of being on time, and I take issue with those people. They don't
What does
think
that
it
mean?
matters whether you show up at 8:30 or 8:40. They don't actually see that as like a difference.
So, Matt, my sort of emblematic issue came up the other day, which is that people leave stuff out of my gym. This was we talked about like a year ago,
Oh
and
yeah.
it drives me nuts. So, people just, people just live in a world where like, well, they'll never be like me and you. They're just so,
No,
and are they happier?
not thinking about time, maybe. If
Not
there's
thinking
no time at all, there's literally no clock. There's no what time is it? I don't know. Wednesday?
their whole life is a casino.
Yeah, just right. Yeah, their entire life is in a smoke-filled, clockless casino. Is that fun?
Well,
Yeah.
I meant
Oh
not
yeah.
living that, not living with paying attention to other people.
Yeah. It's an interesting way to live.
Yeah. Oh,
I
God,
don't.
just
Something tells me you have a lot of people annoyed with you.
me.
No, people who are always late and like never
Oh
on
yeah, of
time.
course, but they don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Just
Do they
a
not
life
care?
without care is all I want.
Yeah. They just not care. They just don't care. Maybe they just don't care.
Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, the world rewards people who don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, do we answer this question?
I mean, I think you kind of have, unfortunately, the right. I was just like, oh, well, we got to have the straight talk. Like, I think you're probably right. As I said, like, I'm not sure you can change anybody. So maybe baking it in. But again, if this person is doing things like you to you that are that rude, like
Yeah.
showing up to a game that late and like just really, really not showing that like they care to, to respect your time in any way, I still think it warrants like one serious line. I'm like,
Yeah.
hey man, this is like really starting to bother me.
Yeah. I like the word not the phrase not cool.
Yeah, not cool, man. Not cool.
All
I think we answered it.
right. That was asking for a friend. If you have a friendship question, send it to us on Instagram and we'll answer it on the show. So Matt, what did we learn today?
I think you and our goal has always been to just try to come up with these little hacks,
Hmm.
right? That's our whole sort of philosophy is like, we're not trying to make you reinvent yourself.
Yeah.
We just want these little hacks. And if any of them are useful, take them. I'm hoping that this is one that is useful. The posting up.
Yeah. When you first pitched it to me, I was like, nah, this is very specific to Matt. I don't really get it. But as we discuss it, like it is a sort of creative way to get some other people out of the woodwork who are hard to nail down. And if you extend that post up invitation to sort of a fringe friend, it's an entree to a closer relationship.
Well said.
Well said. All right, guys, that's our show. Thanks so much for listening. Always remember, be good to yourself, be good to your friends. Love you, buddy.
Love you, buddy.